If you like incredible natural beauty, specifically flowers, and more specifically cherry blossoms, then you're in for a real treat. In this video, you'll experience peak bloom in Washington, D.C. Welcome to the Traveler VR, the VR channel where we go to incredible places around the world, so you never even have to put on pants. We're at the Tidal Basin because it's springtime in Washington, D.C., and looking at trees is the thing to do. This, my friends, is the National Cherry Blossom Festival, or as I like to call it, Operation Let's See How Many People We Can Gently Cram on a Large Puddle. Now, look around, just soak it in. It's pretty, huh? Like, objectively gorgeous. Thousands of trees exploding in pink and white, reflecting in the water. It's the kind of scene that makes you want to write bad poetry or propose to a complete stranger. Please don't do either of those things, especially not the poetry. But let's be real, it's also a lot. It's a beautiful, beautiful exercise in organized chaos. It's like someone whispered, "Free artisanal pink air," and everyone showed up. You've got families trying to wrangle kids dressed like tiny enraged marshmallows, couples attempting romantic selfies that mostly feature the back of someone else's head, influencers doing complicated poses that seem to defy gravity and common sense. It's a whole scene, man. So, why are there thousands of Japanese cherry trees hanging out by a man-made lake next to a bunch of monuments dedicated to dead presidents? Well, it all started back in the early 20th century, 1909 to be precise. A writer named Eliza Ruhamah Skidmore had been pitching the idea of planting cherry trees here for 24 years, when she finally got First Lady Helen Taft interested. Taft had lived in Japan, seen the sakura herself, and was like, yeah, okay. Pink trees sound better than another statue of a dude on a horse. Meanwhile, Tokyo was undergoing a bit of a blow-up, building parks and stuff, and Mayor Yukio Ozaki thought, hey, let's send some trees to our American pals as a gesture of friendship. Diplomacy through horticulture. So, in 1910, Tokyo sends over 2,000 cherry trees. They arrive in Seattle, get shipped across the country, only for the Department of Agriculture to take one look and say, whoa, these things are riddled with insects and diseases. Burn them all, I say. Ouch. Imagine being the guy who had to write that thank you note back to Tokyo. But Mayor Ozaki didn't give up. He worked with scientists, grew another batch, this time 3,020 trees of 12 different varieties, squeaky clean, bug-free, and shipped them over in 1912. The second batch of trees made it. On March 27, 1912, First Lady Helen Taft and Viscountess Chinda, wife of the Japanese ambassador, planted the first 2 trees on the northern bank of the Tidal Basin. Those original 2 trees are still there, by the way. Look for the little plaque near the John Paul Jones Memorial if you're ever here in, reality. So, this whole beautiful spectacle, it started with persistence, diplomatic mulligan, and probably a very stressed out customs inspector. And because of this gesture of friendship, the US and Japan have been BFFs ever since. Well, except for that one time in the 1940s. All right, history lesson adjourned. Let's talk fun facts and weird observations, because that's what we do here. Fun fact number 1, most of the trees you see around the Tidal Basin are Yoshino cherries. They're the puffy white-pink ones. There are other types too, like the frilly pink Kwanzan cherries, which usually bloom a bit later. Fun fact number 2. Predicting peak bloom, that magical time when 70% of the blossoms are open, is basically DC's version of the Groundhog Day ceremony, but with more anxiety and less Punxsutawney Phil. It's at a different time every year. The National Park Service arborists analyze budding patterns and weather forecasts like they're trying to crack the Da Vinci Code. Get it wrong, disappointed tourists might just form an orderly passive-aggressive mob. Fun fact number 3. Despite thousands of flowers, it doesn't really smell like much. Cherry blossoms are notoriously subtle sniff-wise. They're all show, no smell. It's mostly just the smell of outside, and maybe kettle corn from a nearby vendor. Okay, let's talk logistics. Even in VR, you can probably feel the density. Imagine this in real life. It requires strategy. It requires patience. It requires forgetting cultural norms about personal space ever existed. Trying to walk the Tidal Basin loop during peak bloom is like participating in a very slow, very polite, extremely picturesque salmon run, but everyone's going in both directions. You develop this specific gait, half shuffle, half gentle nudge. You make brief, intense eye contact with strangers as you mutually agree not to occupy the same square foot of pavement while you try to get the exact same picture. It's a delicate dance. My recommendation for a less crowded spot is Haynes Point. Haynes Point is a beautiful island with lots of cherry blossom trees right next to the Tidal Basin, but it sees a fraction of the crowds. Okay, traveler VR tip time. Even though you're chilling in your VR headset, maybe someday you'll brave the real thing. Or maybe these tips will just be amusing observations. Either way. Tip number 1. Timing is everything. If you do come here in person, go early. Like really early. Or go on a weekday. Avoid midday on peak bloom Saturday unless your goal is to achieve enlightenment to extreme crowd tolerance. Tip number 2. Transportation. In real life, do not drive. I repeat, do not drive. Parking is a myth, a legend whispered by foolish optimists. Take the metro. Get off at Smithsonian or Lamphop Plaza and walk. It's part of the adventure. Tip number 3. Sustenance. Bring water, bring snacks, or be prepared to overpay for mediocre sustenance from vendors. Hydration is key to maintaining your cheerful cherry blossom viewing demeanor. Dehydration leads to crankiness, and crankiness amidst beauty is not the Japanese way. Tip number 4. Patience and perspective. Whether virtual or real, take a deep breath, accept the crowds, look up, look out across the water. It really is stunning. Find a slightly less congested spot, maybe under a less famous tree, and just enjoy the pink and whiteness of it all. But the photos. Everyone wants the shot. The one with the perfect blossoms, the water, the Jefferson Memorial looking majestic in the background, and absolutely no other human beings. Which, as you can see, is scientifically impossible. We'll get a great shot of the blossoms, sure, but it will also feature Gary from Toledo eating a hot dog, 3 generations of a family arguing about where to stand, and someone's errant selfie stick poking into the frame like an unwanted antenna. But let's get back to the stars of the show. Look at these trees. Each blossom is tiny, delicate, almost impossibly fragile, and there are millions, maybe billions of them. There's something kind of profound about it, isn't there? This massive, beautiful display that only lasts for a short time, maybe a week or 2 if the weather cooperates. One good rainstorm or windy day and poof, pink snow everywhere, and then it's over. It's the botanical equivalent of a glorious, fleeting firework display. Or like that one really great sandwich you can only get once a year. It's a reminder, I guess, to appreciate things while they're here. Even if here means being surrounded by 1.5 million other people, all trying to appreciate the exact same thing at the exact same time. Beyond just staring at trees, the Cherry Blossom Festival is the whole thing. There's usually a parade, a kite festival over by the Washington Monument, street performances, Japanese cultural events. It's a citywide celebration. The vibe is generally festive. People are trying to have a good time. There's a shared sense of purpose. We are here to see the pink trees. It unites us. It gives us something to awkwardly small talk about with the person whose backpack is currently fused to our shoulder. Nice blossoms, huh? But seriously, there's a genuine joy in the air underneath the logistical hurdles. It's spring. Things are blooming. Winter is over, mostly. Time to emerge from hibernation and immediately complain about allergies.
That's why I'm like standing there.
Look again. This won't last. In a few days or weeks, these petals will flutter down like confetti. They call it Hana Fubuki in Japanese, flower snowstorm. It's beautiful in its own right, a carpet of pink on the paths and floating on the water. Then it's just green trees. The rest of the summer, still nice trees. Good, solid, leafy citizens of the tree community. But the magic, the sheer spectacle of the blossoms, is gone until next year. It makes you think, doesn't it? About appreciating moments, about how quickly things change, about how maybe, just maybe, enduring a bit of the crowd is worth it to see something just truly, uniquely beautiful. Or maybe it just makes you think, I hate people. Either is valid. So that's the Tidal Basin during the National Cherry Blossom Festival, a historical diplomatic exchange resulting in an annual explosion of floral beauty and mild human chaos. It's a Washington, D.C. institution.
Stop recording.
Is it overhyped? Maybe a little. Is it crowded? No, absolutely. Like, personal space is but a distant memory crowded. Is it worth seeing, even virtually? 100%. There's a reason people flock here. It taps into something simple, the pure, uncomplicated joy of seeing something overwhelmingly pretty. It's nature putting on its fanciest dress for a very short party, and we're all invited, even if the invitation list got wildly out of hand. Thanks for joining me on the Traveler VR. If you enjoyed this little sarcastic stroll through floral splendor, you know the drill. Give that virtual thumbs up a click, subscribe if you haven't already. We go to cool places, I promise. Sometimes with fewer crowds, sometimes not. Ring that notification bell so you know when we digitally teleport next. Until next time, keep exploring.